going to do something a bit different today, and we are going to make a photogram. This is where we expose a piece of photographic paper to light, and of course that which is exposed to light will go all dark, and that isn't exposed will stay light. So I've got a selection of objects here, from a food cutter to some keys to a bit of mesh. And first of all, you want to plan what you're going to do. This is the enlarger. It's going to expose onto a piece of photographic paper with these objects covering that up. Photographic paper, I've got some really out-of-date paper here, but it's absolutely fine. Now we're going to do developer. The yellow stuff is called the stop bath, and finally we've got the fixture, and we will wash the paper at the end. So that is going to be the procedure. I'm going to set the, I don't know why I set the enlarge to F8, didn't really matter, and that's the timer, and I'm going to set it to 2 seconds to begin with, because I'm going to do a test strip to see where the paper gets nice and black, and I exposed in steps of 2. I didn't record all of that because it's very difficult to record and do these things at the same time, so I was holding the camera in one hand and trying to do this, so that was my eventual 10 seconds. So I then will go and set the timer, and I will give the developer, it's going to be in the developer first, and that is going to be for about 2 minutes. And what I want to find out in the developer is, unfortunately I seem to have something in the as you can see, I've fast forwarded this a bit, and after a minute it's beginning to show and it's beginning to go dark. By the end of 2 minutes it should be pretty dark, but I think the developer was a bit cold, but you can see how it is going dark. And what I wanted to find out was, if I leave it too long, then it's going to, the objects are going to disappear. So I want to find out where I get optimum black. You can see on one side it's grey, then there's a middle grey, then there's a black. What I really am looking for is a nice strong black. So this is after, I think, 2 minutes. And in theory, with multi-grade paper, which I am using, 2 minutes should be long enough, but I am going to give this up to 4 minutes. If I'm doing a presentation print or a high quality print, I will give it to 4 to 5 minutes, but it should be developed in 2 minutes. So then this, and then I fixed that and washed it. But now I'm got my photographic paper, and I'm going to expose it for 10 seconds. I decided that so it's exposing. Now you might wonder, why is the light slightly red? That is because I've got a multi-grade filter on. Doesn't matter, it's all to do with contrast, and I will explain that later, so in another video. Now I'm setting the timer, and I would expect after about 30 seconds to a minute I would expect things to come out, and I have chopped this a little bit and you can see it's now appearing. And this is the magic of silver photography. You can see this is coming up to a minute and we've just about can see our image here. And I've been developing prints for, I hate to say it, 50 years probably. Started very, very young, and I still get a buzz when I see prints coming out in the darkroom. There's a sort of magic which you don't get with a printer. So there we are, and you're beginning to see that the black is going to be a really nice tone. So I'm going to leave that a good 2 to 3 minutes. And at the end of this developer, when it's fully developed, I'm then going to put it in something called the stop bath, and the stop bath will just stop it from developing. It doesn't fix it, we need another solution for that. So that's coming to the end of 2 minutes, and as I said, I'm going to give it a bit longer. Things always look a bit different under the red light when you actually put the light on, and you can get a good surprise or bad surprise sometimes that the print is actually, you can't judge it completely under the red light. It takes a bit of experience. Right, so here we go into the stop bath. You only need about 20 seconds in the stop bath. It doesn't need very long. And after the stop bath is the fixer. Now the fixer is, I think, as important as the developer, because if you don't fix it well, the print will eventually go yellow. A good 2 to 3 minutes should be absolutely fine. It should actually be fixed, if you're using a decent fix, it should be fixed after a minute. And after a minute, I think it's safe to put on the light, but you want a good 2 to 3 minutes. And when you are happy, you can then put the light on. Quite happy with that. And then the final stage of that is going to be to have a good wash here. I've got this washer is absolutely ideal, and this takes about 20 minutes. Now, here we've got the final print, and I'm really quite happy with this. But you could argue, well, that's the negative. What about a positive? Now, I could go back to the darkroom, put that underneath a piece of photographic paper, expose it, and I will get a positive. Or what I'm going to do, I'm going to be a bit lazy now, but I'm going to open up Photoshop. I've scanned the image, and I'm going to make a new inversion layer, and there I'm going to save as copy. Then I'm going to make a JPEG. And finally, I've got a positive image as well. Going to call it Photogram positive. Save it. And then hopefully I've got my positive. Hope that all makes sense. It is great fun to do. See you again. Hope that's been informative. Bye for now.